glad you're in C2E2. You're watching Comics Remixed. SMF coming soon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Comics Remixed. I'm Junior, alongside, as always,
David Sanchez.
And on this episode of Comics Remixed, we're going to break it down for you. We're talking Man of Steel. We're talking Ninja Turtle casting. We're talking Wizard World guests. What else are we talking, David?
If Wizard World is worth attending because of the list.
Also, we're going to be talking about Man of Steel as well, not just on Movies Remixed, but as well as in Breaking the Fourth Wall.
And we got a couple of different point of views for Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to keep it real up in here.
Spotlight, we're spotlighting Thom's Comics and Collectables out in Elgin, so make sure you check that out. And as always, John Paparella, or now as he's known as, what is it, Johnny Freeze?
You know what? The Thom special, it's really worth watching. I was completely blown away by what this guy had stored at the bottom of his shelves.
Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode, as always, as all of them are. Thank you for watching. Let's get the ball rolling, breaking the fourth wall. All right, so let's start this off, breaking the fourth wall, man. Man of Steel has been out in theaters for a few weeks now. About, what, 2-3 weeks now? And it's
Damn me, I didn't watch it.
David did not watch it. But
surprisingly, it's a Superman movie, and I have not
watched
it.
It's a circle, man. You didn't watch Avengers? I didn't watch Star Trek. You didn't watch Man of Steel? We'll see what's next. It's back and forth.
Yeah.
So David has not watched Man of Steel, and he will be.
I kind of don't agree with that. It's like the one time I watched something before you, and it was Star Trek.
And now it's just like
it's
moot again.
Because I'm not gonna count World War Z. Because
yeah, I'm not counting that anyway. But Man of Steel was actually greenlit for a sequel based off of pre-ticket sales.
Yeah. How did you feel going into it? Was it like the Superman you've been waiting for?
Obviously going into it, I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, by the end of the movie, I was just like...
Because if you just want to base it off numbers, yeah, it has been killing, like, Iron Man 3.
You think so?
Yeah, I would.
Got the numbers. Let's look at these
What do
numbers.
you got?
All right. Box office numbers comparison. Let's do this. All right. Man of Steel's budget was $225 million. All right. As of June 20th, their domestic gross was $168,790,947. We'll say $168 million. We'll say that. Whereas compared to Iron Man's, who's as of June 20th, no. Let me back up a little bit.
Trigger's trying to read his own handwriting.
My handwriting sucks. Let me back up a little bit.
Everybody put on.
I can't even go by that. Let me. You know, we're gonna talk.
Everybody.
We're gonna talk opening weekend numbers. That's what I meant to do. I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry. Okay, opening weekend numbers along with the budget. Man of Steel's budget was $225 million, whereas its opening numbers was $116 million.
Okay.
All right. Whereas Iron Man 3's budget was $200 million.
Right.
Their opening weekend was $174. So, technically, Iron Man still has Man of Steel beat.
What was the first Iron Man's?
I didn't check the first time. I'm only checking current movies.
That has a lot to do with it too. Because
very true. Very true. I agree. I should have checked that.
Yeah.
But this is the one.
Because Iron Man has had a lot more build up, and then with Avengers,
right?
And all that,
Now, there's a couple other movies that last maybe 2-3 years that come out that I checked, and some of these numbers are just astounding. The Dark Knight, their budget was $185 million. Their opening weekend was $158. You know, they almost made that money back opening weekend. Avengers, their budget was $220 million. Their opening weekend, we all know, $207 million. Star Trek Into Darkness.
Star Trek.
$190 million budget. They opening weekend was $70 million. This is the one that kills me. Superman Returns.
Did it have a?
Can I get a guess on the budget?
Budget would have been about $90 million.
Off camera, Cary, can I get a budget number?
I have no idea. $2 with the way that thing was made.
Big B?
Was it like 300? Was it like 400?
I want the number.
I'd go 180.
180. Superman Returns budget $270 million.
Damn.
Was it on rendering the meteor? 'Cause,
Their
like, that was
opening.
it.
You want their opening?
It was on paying people to go see it.
Opening week, folks. Opening weekend for Superman Returns off a $270 million budget. $52 million.
Wow.
Womp womp.
Wow. That one came out to a lot of bad reviews, though.
So did Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Man of Steel. You know, so the point of this basically is for everybody to say, "Oh, Man of Steel is beating Iron Man 3 right now in the box office." No, it's not. Get your facts, motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
And watching the movie, did you feel like this movie was a lot more adult?
Superman Returns, or
Yeah,
excuse me,
Man of Steel. Man of Steel.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think that's the price to pay for not going buddy cop like Iron Man has? You know, like you lose that kid audience, you lose that kind of buying power where you go like way too serious.
No, and I'll say because Man of Steel, this is the first one. Not a lot of people knew what to expect. With Iron Man, you kind of are. It's the third movie. You know what to
That was
expect.
gonna be my next thing. Like a lot of mixed reviews, just because I mean, Superman, as far as like a franchise, has tanked.
Yeah, of course. But well, now Man of Steel, hopefully,
New
it
ship,
will rise.
new flagship.
Yes, it will rise. So, like I said, Man of Steel's been greenlit for a sequel, as well as having the Justice League still planned for 2015. My problem with the Superman sequel,
Okay.
they said that they want it out next summer, so it's going to be back-to-back summers. I think that's a
Rush
problem.
movies, man. Rush
The
movies,
only
man.
way that would work is if they had pre-written and pre-filmed it the way they do Lord of the Rings.
As they do most movies now.
You know, where it's
lot of
just
them are
all a
just
continuous.
continuously
Yeah,
filmed,
that'd probably be the only way Man of Steel 2, we'll call it, would work without feeling rushed.
Because you keep the same creative team, the straight
Mhm.
vibe, you know, that same
And
momentum.
they got
just going. You
exactly.
keep it all
So now,
going.
what do you do if it's greenlit? It's already 100%
They
go.
should be filming it now.
Exactly. What do you? Oh, we got to crank out a script. What's going to happen? That stuff's going to be rushed, and
Yeah.
it's going to lose momentum. Well, we can hope it doesn't.
You also saw World War Z, which we kind of skipped over.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about that movie being tracked from a comic to movie?
I didn't. Well, I say I never read the book.
It's such a good.
But from what I understand
it's
from
a
people,
really good book.
from people who I went with Shimeli and went with Vinny. Vinny read the book.
Right.
He didn't have a problem with the change. You know, it's like it's two separate things, same title.
Right.
You know, whatever. World War Z wasn't horrible, wasn't great, wasn't my favorite, obviously. My question is, why does Brad Pitt, even in movies, have to adopt a kid? Not that I'm against adoption or anything, but he does it in the movies and he does it in real life. Like, dude,
I
really?
think it's in his contract now.
I don't know. And
I think the next movie he's just gonna lob off a boob.
for those of you, hey, for
That's
those
it,
of you
know?
who've seen World War Z or if you've paid attention to the trailers, the chick that plays Brad Pitt's wife in this movie, does she or does she not look like Smeagol?
Wow.
Every time she came on screen, you hear somebody go, ugh. It was me. But regardless, it was me. But you hear after I told Vinny and I told Shimeli and other people around us heard it, you would hear people every time she came on the screen, precious, and it caught on for the next like 2 or 3 rows around us.
Speaking about leading ladies, the new Amazing Spider-Man is supposed to come out.
Ah,
They cut
yes.
out Mary Jane.
Mary Jane was cut
How
out.
did you feel about her screenshots? Because I've seen other pics of this. I forgot her name. The girl who was playing Mary Jane, and she
Okay.
looked fine. But in
She
the
was cool.
screenshots for the movie, she looked kind of like, like
She
I
looked
didn't
like the
see her-
tomboy next door.
I did not see her as Mary Jane.
No, I did not.
No.
Now, what Israel posted something on Facebook
Yeah.
where it was another chick that I guess is not going to be Mary Jane. It's not the same chick, some Canadian actress.
I thought they were cutting her out altogether and just sticking to
I don't-
Felicia.
Well, from what I understand, they're putting Mary Jane. Mary Jane's cut out of the second movie, and they're bumping her to the third. And now they got another actress, I believe, to replace Mary Jane. And I don't know who this actress is. I've never heard of her, but she looks Hispanic. She does. But I think Israel says she was Canadian. Dude, she looks like a Hispanic Beyonce. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love. But then Israel also went one step further and he photoshopped her hair to be red. He's like, just in case you were wondering what she looked like a redhead. I was like,
Fantastic. Great job, Israel.
I want this movie. I want to watch this movie on mute for all I care. But yeah, does that
Well,
answer
you might,
your Spider-Man question?
in part 3 because they're having the famous kill off of Old Girl in part 2. Yeah, supposedly.
Spoiler alert!
Supposedly.
Moving on, other movie news. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever the hell you want to call it, TMNT, the new one coming out next June 6th, 2014, which I cannot fucking wait for. Directed by Michael Bay. Shredder's been officially announced now. It was rumored, but now it's been officially announced. William Fichtner has confirmed to the HuffPost TV that he will play the Shredder. He was in Armageddon. He was in Drive Angry. He was in the beginning of Dark Knight when Joker's robbing the bank at the very beginning, and he's the one guy that gets shot, and he's like, "You're not gonna get away," and he hits the alarm.
He's the banker.
Him.
Yeah. Okay.
He will be Shredder.
I can see it.
He's gonna be Shredder. You can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me tell you something. Shredder's Japanese.
Yeah. Well, so what was that movie where they put a bunch of white guys and they computer generated them as like Asians? What movie was that? Do you guys know off camera? This just happened.
It's called David's Dreams because I don't remember that happening.
That just
Shredder's
happened.
Japanese.
That's long ago.
His name is Oroku Saki,
Hey man.
not William.
They're gonna CGI it, dude.
That's totally racist.
It's white. It's called white facing. It's called white.
Oh, and that's not racist?
No,
Look at
that's
that,
the
man.
name for it. That's the name for it. It's white facing, but they're gonna do it, man.
So William Fichtner's confirmed that he's going to be Shredder. I don't care. I'm still hyped for the movie. Hey, you know what? If Michael Clark Duncan, may he rest in peace, can play Kingpin, I'll let a white guy be Shredder as long as that performance is there, man. This guy's got to bring his A+ game.
You know, and that's kind of like what they're gonna use.
I hope so.
Are you sure it's gonna be Shredder? Maybe they're putting him there as Shredder because he's gonna be like some other Krang that's not Shredder. They're probably gonna put a twist on it. Think about it. They'll probably make it into a twist.
Maybe. Dude, little twist. Anyhow, moving on. Lastly, Wizard World Chicago is about a month or so away from now. Will you be attending? That's the question. What will get you to attend? Will it be the comic celebrities, such as Chris Claremont, Alan Davis, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Greg Land? The list goes on.
That's just it. Where did these people come from? Not too
Their
long
moms.
ago. No, not too long ago. We were actually saying we're not going to attend Wizard
Right.
World, and now all of a sudden they have like this crazy lineup. Where did this come from?
I think they leave last minute because they wait to see how the pre-orders maybe go for their tickets, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe to see how the conventions, you know, Wizard's not just Chicago anymore. It's like every freaking state, every month they have a convention. So maybe they base it off of those numbers and they kind of see who fans want to see. And
I just
sign
don't
them
want
up
it to
to
look like
contracts or
some
something.
jacked up ass flea market like last year.
Well, you know what? Kim,
I don't want there to be that one Asian lady selling all
Selling
that
handbags.
fake porcelain and those $1 toys. I
Well,
don't
you know what?
want
No.
that, okay?
Kim from Big Dog Inc. was telling me that throughout the year, her and Thom have been going to other Wizard Worlds and stuff. That since last year's Wizard World, they've kind of stepped it back up into the direction they need to be at a comic convention again.
Yeah.
Which doesn't bode well for the celebrity guests that they have this year.
So basically, they decided to put more money into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You imagine with the celebrity guests. And will that drive you to the convention as opposed to the comic guests? You've got Michael Shannon, who plays General Zod in the new Man of Steel flick. Zachary Quinto, who plays Spock in Star Trek, and I cannot remember the character. Skylar? No? Am I right?
Siler.
Siler in Heroes.
That's not a big deal because season 2 of Heroes really sucked. So.
Okay, so use him for Spock then.
Yeah.
See him because he
Oh
was
yeah,
Spock.
yeah, no problem.
There you go. You've got Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor in Smallville. Allison Mack, who was Chloe in Smallville. Henry Winkler, the Fonz. For your wrestling fans, not only is CM Punk attending, but you've also got Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee, all 3 members of The Shield, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Which I'm excited for that. Ricky, that's a legend right there.
Yeah. Dude,
That's when I loved wrestling.
Talk to Ricky about WrestleMania, man. His match with Macho Man.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title match.
Two
That
of my
match
favorite
stole the
wrestlers
show.
right there.
But I mean, besides that, I mean, you've got what's his name? Austin Ashmore, I believe his name is. Sean Ashmore's brother. He was Jimmy Olsen on Smallville as well.
Nobody cares.
No, but I'm just giving these out there. Of course, you got your Walking Dead cast. You got Norman Reedus. You got Michael Rooker. John Berthenau, I believe his name is. He was Shane in Walking Dead. It's a pretty big one. Stan Lee, of course, will be there. He's not only a comic guy, he's also a celebrity now, of course. But you've got a lot of big names.
How you just brush out? He's not just a comic guy.
No, he's transitioned. You
He's
know,
like the father.
He's transcended.
Of a lot of things we
is the
love.
word.
Yeah.
You know. So there's going to be a lot of guests. So what's going to drive you to go? You know, that's the question. Go to wizardworld.com for more answers, more guest lists. You know, we're not going to give it all to you. So if you're going, let us know. If you're not going, let us know why. You know.
I already told you why. I don't want it to be a flea market with some little Asian lady selling light toys. Come on.
I thought it was porcelain. Now it's got the old school robot toy.
Yeah.
That you bought at
yeah,
Oscars.
it's not really
Oscars. That used
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and it's not
the ones
really
that
like super.
you guys
powerful
from
either.
Chicago, if you grew up in Chicago back in the 80s and 90s, you guys know Oscars. It was that store. It was like a bootleg Goldblatt's over on California near Diversity, right after the Vidoc where Route 90 is, 94.
Well, now I'm just thinking about Gold Blocks. That was the shit, man.
Goldblatt's
Remember
was the shit.
remember I had the room where it had the old Avengers arcade?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
The place was shit. And so was Zares and Ames.
Sears. Ames.
Not Sears, Zares.
Zares.
Remember Zares?
I remember Ames.
Venture!
Venture! Thank
was
you.
the
Yes!
Moving on.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for breaking the fourth wall. You know, Man of Steel, Wizard World, and Shredder. So coming up next, we spotlight Thom's Comics and Collectables out in Elgin. If you've been there, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't been there, hopefully this spotlight video changes your mind and you go pay Thom a visit.
You'd be damn surprised what this guy has in the store. I'm just gonna say it again. Thom says he's tried all forms of advertising. I don't think so. You gotta watch this video.
Watch the video, let us know what you think. So right now, Thom's Comics and Collectables. What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to the Spotlight. This week we're spotlighting Thom's Comics and Collectables here in Elgin, Illinois. Let's go in and see what Thom's got in store for us.
I'm Thom. This is my store, Thom's Comics and Collectables. I'm at 817 Walnut in Elgin, Illinois. I specialize in comics, books, figures, statues, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, and the science fiction and horror genre a lot. That's about it.
Now, me personally, I've been coming to Thom's for years, man. He's like 15 minutes from my mom's house here in Elgin. And one of the things I like about coming to Thom's is some of the back issues that he has. Amazing selection. And then Thom, like we mentioned in the interview, is a very big go-to guy. You know, you like to come to him when you find that he has things you need. I'll give you a couple of examples. As far as Marvel goes, I was very surprised to come in here and find he still has variant copies of Amazing Spider-Man 700, which has been sold out everywhere. And he's got them at some really, really reasonable prices. $20 for the Martin variant, $15 for the Colt. I mean, those are some pretty good prices. You go on eBay and you're paying easily double, maybe even triple that. Keep in mind, you know, even besides Marvel, whole knows I might even buy him. But besides Marvel, he does everything. Now, this section here is pretty much his Marvel issues. You move back this way, you've got a lot of the DC stuff. And as far as the DC stuff goes, we all know New 52 has been very popular. So he's got a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's sold out. Some great examples. Batgirl Zero. A lot of the DC Zero stuff has been very sold out. Batman Zero. Dude, he's even got Justice League #1. Now, obviously, this one probably isn't cover price, but these are. And come on, really? Free bags and boards, dude. What's not to like? One of the reasons I like it. And then you come over to this side. For us, with the 90s nostalgia, the Image stuff, the Top Cow stuff. You know, you got a lot of stuff from the Max, Gen 13, some G.I. Joe, Witchblade down at the bottom, City of Heroes. Dude, he's got Bedlam issue 1. This book has been super sold out. Very surprised he actually has that, but he's got it. Spawn. He's got some Walking Dead 100s. He had a few earlier ones in this, but somebody with a CM Punk shirt decided he wanted to buy them before filming, so that's a whole nother story. You know, but as you can see in this back room, he's got tons of stuff, man. It's great. He's got a Batmobile up there. He's got some Marvel Legends over here. He's got some statues. He's got everything set to the fact that you can't really just look at one item without stumbling into something else, you know?
Still digging around, still finding gems. Here's one that's a huge deal to me on a personal level. The Spanish section. Sin City in Spanish. I could imagine so many people that would want something like this, and it shames me in one way because I live in Pilsen, the Mexican core of Chicago. There are Spanish libraries there that don't even have anything like this. I'm in Elgin, and I found this. Although I am also angry because this is the Spanish section. Still though, thanks for representing Thom. We appreciate that. And thanks for ordering so many copies of the Puerto Rican cover of the Justice League. We're here at Thom's. We're still finding gems. This is actually surprisingly a very illustrator-friendly store. Like for instance, look at this one right here. This is from the Madman trading card series. This is an uncut sheet. Look how beautiful this thing is. You got Mitch O'Connell, you got Alex Ross, you got some big names on here. Thom, can you point us out some of your favorites on here?
Oh, you got Peter Baggy up here and Richard Sala. The ones you mentioned, you've got Daniel Clowes right here.
And you got some more of the more pulpy illustrations right here.
This is Charles Burns, an uncut sheet that's signed and numbered.
And you can find a lot of the underground artists here. You also got some Crumb statues and his books,
Lots
the
of
graphic
Crumb books,
novels. Yeah. For that, I'm also thankful for the underground, the more pulp, the more obscure, is here at Thom's. Can you believe it? Thom, can you tell us about how you got into actually having a store, from a fan to a store? How did that happen?
Well, I had been doing comic shows, selling comics for quite a while, maybe 5 to 10 years, and as more and more stores opened up, it wasn't that I was afraid of not selling stuff, it was stuff for me to buy was drying up.
Okay.
So I decided to open a store so I would have the input of merchandise.
So, by shows, like, did you participate in the Comic Cons? Like, did you do a lot of the bigger shows?
No, I did a lot of the small shows
Okay.
in the area.
Oh, what can you tell us about the smaller shows? I know a lot of collectors, a lot of fans who are probably more into the bigger shows as opposed to the smaller ones. Like, why should they attend the smaller ones?
I think sometimes you get better deals at the small shows, especially if, say, attendance is not great.
No, that's actually a really big point. I remember when we first started, and like Junior, myself, the whole crew, when we first started going to cons, we would get deals, people would haggle, but now the table prices are going up, admission, all these fees are going up, way less haggling, almost non-existent, even on a Sunday.
When I first started doing small shows, you could set up for $25.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost like flea market.
Yeah.
That feels like a flea market
Yeah.
style. Yeah, that's how I'd definitely feel comfortable going in there and trying to get a good deal on
In
the book.
fact, the show I did for years was in Lombard, put on by a guy named Hank Franklin, called the Relaxicon.
Oh, with the Relaxicon?
And that's what it was. It was so easy. You'd pull up, move your boxes 20 feet from your car to your table.
And just relax.
And that was it.
Wow. So, I mean, how did you start building up your inventory, like, from these shows? I mean, you said you started buying off people. How does that come about?
I used to run ads in newspapers and even on like the radio station here and things like that. And like I say, I worked for a while until the stores proliferated and became tougher to find stuff.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite items here that you have on sale for your customers?
I personally have an interest in fiction more than, let's say, comics. Horror authors, science fiction authors, and I like to get signed books by them whenever I can. Comics, I prefer stuff that's, let's say, from the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. The reason I asked that is you're not a guy that advertises a lot.
I don't advertise at all.
The way I know you, the way a lot of people know you is like when someone doesn't have something or someone's trying to, I would say, I guess a store or business trying to rip off another person, somehow you just hear it like, oh, Thom's got it. Do you know that? Do you know you're that guy?
Yeah,
you're like, Thom's got it.
And the reason for that is partly because I'm not all that successful.
Yeah.
So at the end of the week, I usually put a big stack of books in the basement that didn't sell.
Can we see that basement today? That's also like another, like that itself, like many people, like when you go downstairs, I know I automatically have these cartoons playing in my head of what's happening in that basement.
There's not much happening, it's just a giant mess.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it something where like Donald McDuck would just like jump in there and swim in it?
No. But like if I tried to tell somebody else where a comic was to go get it, there's no way they could do it.
Okay. Tell us about, like, I know you have some pretty unique trading cards in here. Like you do aside from comics, what kind of collectibles do you do? Like I've seen some pinup stuff here. Like a lot of you got some Crumb in there. A lot of the old pulp.
I'll take a chance on just about anything that I think is interesting as it comes along. Like just recently, I bought a couple Howdy Doody dolls from a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
anything.
So do you sell aside from the store? Are you
do
also
e-
online?
I do some eBay.
Yeah. What's your eBay name? How can people find you on eBay?
Tom C and C.
Tom CNC.
Yeah.
So how come? Why no advertising? Why no like?
Well, my
like,
first-
I'm Tom C on eBay. Come check me out.
My first 10 years, I advertised a lot, and to me, every penny of it was a waste of money.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I work in advertising. I can help you, man.
I
To me, that's just like a cry for help.
I advertised in almost every way you can think of,
Really?
and I never had a single customer come in because of it.
Wow.
Not one.
We have to work on that. Camera turns off. We got to work on that, people. I'm saying. So okay, someone that's never been to Tom's,
Mhm.
why should they come to Tom's? Aside from the fact that you're the go-to guy, like what else?
That's the main
separates you?
thing, the big selection I have. I can usually, well, I shouldn't say usually, but I have as good a selection as just about anybody, I think. And I always try to give people a fair price. I think most
That's what
dealers,
counts.
I think most dealers do, but I had a guy in just the other day, and I had two of the Superior Spider-Man, the kind of scarcer variants for #1. And he looked at them on my board and he said, "How much are these?" And I gave them to him. And he goes, "Why are they so little?" And I said, "If a book is on my board for a month and it doesn't sell, I don't think it's priced too low."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I've been to 5 stores today, and this is by far the cheapest I've seen these." He walked out with them.
Well, there you go. It gives them a reason to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Tom. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Take it easy, guys. We're talking Man of Steel. Today we have a point counterpoint. We have Cary the cameraman.
How you doing,
talking
guys?
negatives. We have Brian. I was gonna say the dick loving pony, but he's more like a stud. Talking all the positives. Cary, shoot us with the negatives right away.
Let's start with the positive.
No. Go ahead.
I didn't particularly care for this movie. I thought they really kind of wrecked the character.
In what way?
They went dark, but I think they went a little too dark. This isn't The Dark Knight. There's some very, like I said, some disturbing stuff in it.
You're a traditionalist. You liked having. You
I
always liked
am-
having that contrast.
I am a
Batman's dark, Superman's
Right. I
light.
am a Superman fan. Always have been. I like the Christopher Reeve stuff. I like, bright. When you walk out of a Superman movie, I think you should feel some hope. You feel like, yes, Superman saved the day. Don't think you got that from this. In my opinion, I didn't get that from this movie. Comparison would be to the Avengers. In the Avengers, there were parts where I was like, yes, when Banner hulks out, I'm always angry,
right.
destroy. The audience cheered.
All right, Brian, not so traditionalist. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was the update the character needed. The dark turn, I feel, if anything, will serve in later films. It could just reinforce the "I don't kill" policy. Spoiler alert. I think the thing with General Zod at the end, I think it was powerful. It said something. I mean, he did what he had to do, and I think that's something that's been lacking from the Superman character. I just thought it was all around a great movie. I loved it.
How do you feel about that, Cary?
I
Superman's
see
doing what he has to do,
See,
as opposed to
at that point,
like pulling out like the Phantom Zone and shooting
once
people.
again, to me, I think they killed the heart of the character.
Right.
To me, it's Superman doesn't kill. He finds a way, however it is. And I understand what they were doing with he did what he had to do. I think they could have wrote something else. I just, at that point, I was like, you've just taken the heart of that character.
Was the kill too easy?
Well, first of all, that was kind of silly. I'm like, okay, so let me see. These guys are on par. They're both Kryptonians, and the farm boy from Kansas manages to snap the neck of the general of this huge army. I thought that was silly.
I see.
And also, too, I thought, listen, just the snap, it was just so over the top in the snap. It's Superman. He's using his vision in the scene, trying to kill some people. To me, Superman would have found a way to, okay, you already grab him, shoots him through the ceiling, or he throws him away, rather than, Zod, you can't stop me. There's people about to get ripped in half. Get him out of there.
Up to that part, do you feel that they were creating a really solid, complex character up to that part?
I really don't think they did. I think it was very cookie cutter. I think that they attempted it, but once again, I'm a purist, and I also like the original 2 movies. I think who's the actor that plays Superman?
Some Brit.
Okay. Anyways, when he portrayed the parts of this. I think he fit the suit. I didn't get the Christopher Reeve, when you see him with
I'm gonna hold off on the Christopher Reeve thing. Come back.
It's a
Brian, how do you feel about them trying to slide Superman to this dark template? How do you feel about that?
I don't necessarily know if they were trying to slide him into a dark template, as much as, like I said, it will be building for future, giving him a reason why he doesn't kill. I mean, in that scene, Zod even said that you're going to have to do whatever you have to do to stop me. I'm not going to stop unless one of us dies. He was given an ultimatum. And, I mean, I understand the no-kill Superman thing, but I thought it was beautifully handled.
Between you guys, I thought that was done and over with now that DC completely has this character now. Don't they completely have it now? Isn't that what happened in the last court battle that went down with the Superman
I don't
family?
understand what you're asking.
It's the whole court thing with the Siegel heirs.
Right.
And
Because
DC,
the Seagulls were the ones that mostly were implemented in this whole Superman doesn't kill thing.
Truth, Justice, the American.
Right.
Yeah.
Once again, it's what I grew up with, and to me that is Superman. Every cartoon, or every show, whether it's Smallville, and I'm not a fan of Smallville. Okay, but you still at least walked away with the feeling. And once again, this is being very generic.
Yeah. You're actually getting into Christopher Reeves and stuff, so you want to. Go ahead. I want you to go into where this Superman fits in there.
Okay, the difference between that Superman and, once again, going back to Smallville, going back to Christopher Reeves, at the end of the day, like I said, Superman saved the day. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you walked away at least, even in, like I said, back to Smallville, which I'm not a fan of, at least you watched the episode, there were lines I'm not going to cross. We saved the day, and to me, that was always Superman. And like I said, I think that the actor in this, and once again, it's script writing, it's time on screen. I think he was cookie cutter. Maybe the next movie we'll see a little bit more, because I understand it is an intro. But like I said, you watch the scenes with Christopher Reeve, with Lois Lane dying, and you feel that. And then just some of the other, when the second movie, when everything gets destroyed, and we won't go into that right now, okay? He comes back, he's like, you show I won't be gone again, and sorry guys, he's helping clean up. If they would have just put something like that in this movie, where you walked away going, okay, Superman saved the day. Superman, there was an uplift. I didn't get that in this movie, and at the very end, to me, it seemed just kind of punkish, where he comes down, he meets with this general, he smashes their satellite, going, hey, don't follow me. But if you need me, I'll be there. It's like, yeah, if I feel like it. I got that impression, and to me, that's just not the core of that character.
Right there when how you were talking about the no kill and calling it a cookie cutter. I completely agree with you on that. Watching Superman, reading the comics, I'm also a Superman fan. If I had to always pick between Batman and Superman, I always lean Superman, because with all his insane amount of power, he would always figure out a way to not kill. And to me, that's a lot of complexity right there. He could easily snap a regular person's neck, but to actually use that other part of him, which they start to delve into more in modern day Superman, how he is an intelligent being, he could figure out these things about technology and all this stuff, and he doesn't have to kill you. He could shoot you into the earth, and the earth into the sun, and the sun will kill you.
But once again, to me, that is the core of that character, and it's also his weakness.
Except
that's
for
what I
when he
liked.
kills Zod.
That's what I liked about those movies, and even in this series. Clark Kent, Superman's weakness was his compassion for the people around him, for whatever, and they used it as a weakness, but he always found a way to overcome it. That was the hope, positive of Superman,
Right.
And I think they took that away in this movie. That's my feeling of it. I just don't like the approach they took.
Which, speaking of which, Brian, they also got rid of the kryptonite stuff. How did you feel about that?
For now.
Yeah, for now. Did they get rid of the kryptonite stuff? Will it make it appear? Yeah, there was no.
I think that was a rule. There was there was a no kryptonite rule in this movie.
For now.
Yeah, I think that's a staple. That's something that you need, but.
Do you think that's easier to accept for a wider audience as opposed to just the hardcores? How this little rock could take down Superman? Just not having
I
it
would
there.
think so. Maybe does seem kind of silly by today's standards. Maybe that's why they went such a dark route. You know, it's a different audience than it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
77. Was it 78?
77,
That was a great movie. I loved that movie. I mean, we all grew up with those movies. But it's a different day and age, you know. And like I said, I really feel like everything they've done will serve to create the character we know, hopefully, when they do Man of Steel 2.
Now, from both of you guys, thinking about a character like Superman who finally crossed that line and killed, how do you feel now that since he is such a crazy role model, everything about marketing Superman is to be a role model? How do you feel now that he represents justice, but he killed, and you're a little kid watching this? Cary?
I think they ruined it. I think if you want those characters, you've got Wolverine. And then, once again, great character, but that's what I'm the best at what I do. And they've always introduced Wolverine, you know, as a weapon. That's what I do. You know, you have character, the Punisher. Hey, you know, I'm an anti-hero. He kills. And then you got the guys who don't cross the line. Batman, he'll beat the hell out of you, but he won't kill you. And they even followed down the Dark Knight, you know. The accidental death of Harvey Dent, but, you know, he didn't. It wasn't intentional. The Joker, he stops from killing him. He's like, I got this guy, and he's screwing up my city, but I'm not going to kill him.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And-
Actually,
and-
that's a very good
and-
point.
and the fact-
Batman didn't kill in his
Right,
movies.
and the fact, no, and the
Nobody
fact that
did
you know, that you take Superman of all the characters that you and you go, yeah, that'll be the guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me.
Brian?
I've just seen, that was a great point, man. I feel like fucking backed into a corner.
No, that's a good point.
Um,
The marketing machine behind Superman is he's like an ultimate role model. Like they push him much more than they push a Captain America as far as like let's put him in the fucking drink milk, read, you know. Let's put him in everything
Brandon
like
Routh did those
assisting
so bad.
cancer, everything like Superman saves cancer or something, you know. I don't know, that's weird, but they'll put Superman there, and all of a sudden he killed.
Well, I mean, again, I go back to society. I go back to today's day and age. You know, they push military men as role models, and military men kill every day. I mean, I stand by the decision.
So you believe in a militarized Superman?
I
what you're saying?
I
You
like
believe
it.
in a
I like
militarized
it. I
Superman.
like it. I like the man of action. I like the guy that's like, fuck this guy. This guy's gonna, because you know what? You get a person like Joker and Batman. Joker's gonna keep doing what Joker does. Eventually, sometimes, just snap that fucker's neck, get him out of the way.
Okay, now as a human,
And plus, the other thing I could
Go ahead.
finish, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
is
that's
that I'm not
okay.
going to fucking see Zod in the next 5 Superman
Yeah.
movies.
Okay, all right. Just to wrap this up, how does this? Because I haven't seen it, so you guys got to sell it to me. You guys got to sell this movie to me. Plus, the fact that this is supposed to cause the Justice League movie. How, in your view, does it cause Justice League? Brian, want to go first?
Yeah, that's fine. How does it cause Justice League? Boy, there wasn't really a whole lot to lend it towards Justice League. There was a lot of nods towards other DC characters. He gets out of a LexCorp truck.
Batman's a
the
satellite.
Bruce Wayne satellite in space when Superman and Zod are fighting. But as far as like actually going out and mentioning anyone by name, they really didn't do a lot of name dropping, so I don't really know how they're going to do it.
I don't know where you go from this, honestly. You look once again. You've turned this character into a killer. You've turned him dark. He doesn't do it. You know, once again, we didn't talk about it. He doesn't do anything. To stop any collateral damage whatsoever. You know, you laugh, but it's. I walked.
No,
out
you're absolutely true.
I
It's
walked
definitely
out of
true.
that movie feeling like I was through a war zone. I had to digest everything afterwards. I mean, they show Superman on some skulls. I mean, it was very.
Wasn't
very
that a hallucination though?
Yeah,
Well,
but
from my belief, like it actually falls into the Avengers template. Shit has happened. These mega superpowered things came out. We need to protect ourselves. And on top of that, one of the guys that's supposed to be a good guy, he knows how to kill. He's strong enough to kill these superpowered guys.
Well,
so we got to keep him in check
I think
too.
that's gonna that's gonna be the approach I think with Lex Luthor. And the thing is, because of that, now I want to root for Lex Luthor because here's this guy who caused all this damage, and here's this human going, we got to stop it. But that's always been his bent. But now it makes more sense.
So I guess we just wait and see.
It
Yeah.
definitely makes him more of a relatable character.
Right, and
But then I will put this at you. They did constantly refer to as the S as the symbol of hope. So I mean,
Hope kills people. Thank you very much for being here. Y'all have a good night.
I'm Cary. Night.
That's right, folks. Johnny Freeze has his own belt right now. I am the true, legitimate Comics Remixed Wrestling Champion. But enough about me. We're going to this week's breakdown. There's no Wrestler of the Week. There's no crap Wrestler of the Week. There's just the great moments. This week, this past Sunday, was Payback. We saw the return of CM Punk with the victory over Chris Jericho. Best in the World 3, the rubber match. Punk came out the victor. Happy to see the Chicago boy won. Good to have him back. Can't wait to see what he's doing. Brock Lesnar. Bound for Glory series is back. I love this just because it's, it's TNA's niche. Their little tournament to see who gets the title shot. I also think it's kind of a lazy way out. Say, hey, we have nothing planned for Bound for Glory. Just, we're going to have a little tournament. It makes things interesting. Christian came back. Captain Charisma. I've missed Christian. He's been out for a year. I'm pretty sure his shoulder injury wasn't that long. But you know what? I'm still glad to see Captain Charisma back. I've heard some rumors of what he wants to do, or what he's planned on doing. But either way, I don't care. As long as Captain Charisma's still on TV, I'm happy. Captain Charisma, I salute you, good sir. And my biggest moment of the week, I'm happy to hear this. Rob Van Dam's coming back, folks, at Money in the Bank, July's pay-per-view. Get to see Mr. Monday Night return. Mr. Pay-per-view's coming back, 5-starring everybody. Everybody. And it's perfect. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. Can't wait to see who he's gonna face, if he might be in the Money in the Bank match, or he might be facing an opponent in singles competition. Unfortunately for you fans, they're saying, "Oh yeah, he's coming back full time RVD." I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's a short-term contract, but he's not doing any local shows, so you're only gonna see him on TV. But hell, he's back. He's back. And I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for returning him to us. Okay, back to the main point. Flashback match. Since I'm a huge Rob Van Dam fan and he's back, I decided to watch one of his old classics. Heatwave 1999. Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam versus the Impact players, Lance Storm and Just Incredible. I found this kind of shocking because, well, if everybody knows, Rob Van Dam and Jerry Lynn have a historic and storied past of having bouts against each other. They're classic ECW fans. You will know about them. Brutal and awesome at the same time. But this was their first time tag teaming together. And I was actually really surprised with this because, at first it was kind of them trying to one-up each other. They're trying to see, hey, I'm the whole effing show. I'm the one stealing the match. But Just Incredible and Lance Storm aren't jokes. All 4 men in this match, they're all athletic. They all have skills. And, the match was very fast-paced, a lot of counters. But the truth is, that's kind of how cruiserweight wrestling goes. Eric Bischoff said it the best. The reason why people watch light heavyweight boxing is because it's more fast-paced and because there are things that you don't normally see. And, that delivered actually a great match. However, though, I wouldn't really count this as an ECW-style match. It wasn't really hardcore enough. Yeah, sure, there was a table or two in there and a chair shot or two. But, it was more technical wrestling than anything. However, we did have a surprise entrance by Sabu at the end. But in the end, RVD and Jerry Lynn got the win. Everyone goes home happy. That's the flashback match. Comics Remixed Wrestling Champion, Jay Freeze. You've been pointed out.
That was another wonderful segment by John Paparella over at Paparella's Point, or as he's now known as, Johnny Freeze, Jay Freeze?
He's our reigning Comics Remixed World Champion, apparently.
There was no challenge for the belt. He just walked in with it one day. I'm the champ, and we're just
just kind of let him do it because he just looked funny. So there you go.
Well, we're all pretty big guys. I mean, would it be a fair fight?
No, but I guess it just makes him.
So what if I bring my own belt in? Would that make me champion? Who would outreign?
Junior, no, you just don't look like a champion. Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Self-esteem.
Yeah.
Is that how you really feel?
That is how I really feel. I'll take you out in a minute. Yep.
After what, like 15 years of friendship, that's how you feel?
You walk in here with a belt, I will directly challenge you immediately.
Man, this
Immediately. Lex Luger, elbow to the face. And then I'll kick you in the nuts really hard.
Wow. I'm gonna post Facebook.com/Comics Remixed. That's where you can find us. You can also find us on
You
Twitter
already know my
at Comics
finisher.
Remixed. Are you done?
No, I'm saying I just got the whole thing visualized already.
Jesus. Comics Remixed is everywhere. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Comics Remixed. Spinnerack.podbean.com, where you can hear Brian's rust-encrusted voice. You can also contact him at spinnerack@ymail.com, because nobody really wants to talk to him directly. So an email or a Y-mail would be okay with him.
He does suck a lot of pony dicks.
Oh God, this again. See, I'm defending your ass. You can email us directly at comicsremixed@gmail.com. In the subject, just write who you're actually directing the email to, whether it's David, myself, Cary the cameraman, Brian, because you don't know what a Y-mail is, John, whatever.
It's not real email.
It's not.
No.
Like I said, I've never heard of a Y-mail until the spinner rack.
We just don't want to ruin it for Brian.
There's a Gmail, there's an email. What happened to all the rest of the letters?
He feels like
Let
he
me
found
skip it
something
and go to
special.
Y.
He's like that little kid that found that rock that looks cool, so we're just going to let him play with it for a while. And then he'll realize the rock doesn't do anything.
All right. So you also have your own personal.
I'm on David Sanchez Art at twitter.com. Feel
Call
free to
him
hit
Rock
me.
Boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Brian, what are you doing? Playing with my rocks. Try to get my rocks off. Always a great time here, but you know what, David? I'm getting tired of looking at you.
I usually get tired of looking at you.
Over the course
So
of
that's
this
why
episode.
I go directly into touching you usually.
Well, don't touch me. Today, I touch you. In the course of this episode, I have gained psychic abilities.
Because you're bald.
Yes, that's part of the reason.
Alright.
But I'm tired of looking at you.
It could be.
And I want somebody more interesting
Are you
here.
sure it's not a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
Okay.
Somebody here who's going to tell us what's coming in the future for Comics Remixed. Get the fuck out of here. Bam! That's how I rose. Got tired looking at David, so I turned David into Cary. Cary, what do we got coming up for the future
over
of Comics
here.
Remixed? We got some more... I heard a voice from the great beyond. Grandma? We've got some stuff coming up in the future for Comics Remixed. A couple more segments we're adding, not to the show, but other shows that will be sponsored in part by Comics Remixed. So, Cary, go ahead and let them know what's coming up, bro.
How you doing, guys? We're going to add a couple new shows. We're going to add something called The Collector's Case, which what we're going to do is we're going to be highlighting people's collections. So we'll be coming to different people's houses and showing off their collections, getting stories about some of the things they collect. So we've got a couple lined up, which will be pretty cool. And if you are interested in that, contact Junior or David, and make a couple photos so we could get an idea of what your collection is, and maybe we could spotlight your collection and interview you, and you could explain what you've been collecting over the years and tell the stories
Cary,
behind it.
Breathe. Thank you.
Okay.
You're short as fucking that chair.
Yeah. Well.
I'm used to looking up here at David. Anyways, what else do we got coming up? We got another one.
And we're going to do a 101 segment. What the segment will be is for people who are just getting on the bandwagon. Welcome. So if you've never collected comic books before, or you've just started watching Big Bang Theory,
Big Bang.
or anything else along those lines, we're getting you a good starting point. So each episode will focus on a different aspect of pop culture, and we'll get you started on this stuff. So
It's a
that
great
works.
hobby
That works.
to be in. If it's something you've always wanted. If you always wanted to read a comic but you weren't sure where to start, you always wanted to collect an action figure or any toy in particular. You wanted to get into cosplay or whatever have you. As long as it's in the pop culture thing, we're gonna be covering it. Cary's gonna bring you the how-to of whatever it is that.
And what's nice is, once again, we've got a good group, so everyone's got their different interests, so each one will come on and talk about their interests if someone doesn't have a knowledge base about one aspect or another. And also, too, if there's someone out there, write in and say, hey, why don't you cover this? I'm into this. If we don't know about it, maybe we'll have you on. You can talk about your aspect. And once again, it is a 101, so if it's stuff you already know, scoot on past it. There's other things to watch on the site.
Yeah, so be on the look out for that. That should be up in about a month or so. Coming soon. It'll be definitely before the end of summer. So, Cary, it was nice talking to you.
Awesome.
But you're still a small guy, and I'd
Yeah.
rather, like, it's kind of hard to look down like this at you.
Hurt your neck?
Yeah, so get the fuck out of here.
Go.
Fucking stupid.
I have powers.
I was sitting here the whole time.
Doing what, with your thumb in your butt?
No. Maybe. Yes.
I got powers. Y'all know I got powers. What he don't know don't hurt him. Right, Big B? Yeah. For another episode of Comics Remixed, I'm Junior.
And I'm David.
And for everybody else, on behalf of John, Cary, Big B, and everybody else from the Comics Remixed crew, thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Have a good night.